Hello, Asia Mahara here. 5 signs or 5 factors that are the immediate impact of a toxic relationship. So that includes loss of emotional control, otherwise known as emotional dysregulation. Yes, not just people with BPD. People with codependency start to feel out of control emotionally, really stressed out, and you yourself can get emotionally dysregulated by all the stress in the relationship. Because being in a toxic relationship really can cause you to lose control of your emotions. And the impact of toxic behavior on you can make you feel scattered and confused and many other things, and leads to emotional outbursts that are unpredictable and even unwanted, and really, for most people with codependency, so I've had a lot of clients tell me, out of character as well. The second key thing that is an immediate factor is an inability to set or keep boundaries. Many people with codependency enter relationships with this inability without the skill to set and keep boundaries, but it gets even worse when you're with the untreated person with BPD. So the toxic partner, remember, people with codependency have a little bit of their own toxicity, but a person with BPD untreated is going to be more toxic. The toxic partner often engages in manipulating behavior that can wear down your ability to stand firm on the boundaries. And as everybody knows, or if you're new to this, you're finding out, you really can't establish or hold boundaries or set boundaries with somebody with BPD. It just creates all kinds of chaos and drama, more push-pull struggles, and a whole lot of chaos and arguing, and they get triggered, and the whole, it's just not so doable. And yet you need your own boundaries regardless of what happens when you try to set them. The third immediate impact of a toxic relationship is that you increase, because people with codependency have some unhealthy coping strategies, but your unhealthy coping strategies exponentially increase because the stress and the confusion and the fear of the obligation and the guilt and the walking on the eggshells, and you don't know what's happening, and it's hard to keep up with. And so you really start to just try to grab on to anything that might make it a little bit better. You're going to be neglecting yourself and abandoning yourself and trying to rescue and calm down or whatever this person with BPD. You're going to develop a lot more unhealthy coping strategies. Because a lot of people turn to unhealthy behaviors, right, as a means of trying to cope with somebody that is essentially not possible to relate to in any way that makes sense that could help. And some of those behaviors people turn to include drinking or smoking, or maybe you quit smoking, you start smoking, taking drugs, overeating or undereating. These are just some things. There are many other things. Maybe you stop exercising. Maybe you stop seeing your friends. Maybe you're just trying to placate this person with BPD so much, just losing yourself, and you're losing your autonomy, and you're getting isolated. There's all kinds of things that happen that become unhealthy coping strategies to try to keep them from being more triggered or more problematic. And these methods of coping simply act to mask the negative feelings and emotions, and they don't, of course, do anything to solve the problem. And the fourth impact of a toxic relationship, which you might not feel immediately, but these impactful things about a toxic relationship, the impact of them just keeps accruing, so getting worse. The fourth one is poor relationships with others, your relationships at your work, your functioning, your relationships to others, to family, to friends, might really start to break down, or you're not really available because this person with BPD needs all your time or can't trust you if you turn around sideways, which is their issue, not yours. But it's inevitable, really, that being engaged in a toxic relationship with someone is bound to have negative impacts on your other personal relationships, because it's impacting you in a tremendously negative, stressful ways that you may or may not yet be aware of. It depends where you are when you hear this. And this is a direct result of the relationship itself if the toxic person is engaging in possessiveness, controlling behavior, not observing any boundaries, and lots of people with untreated BPD, like I've said before, really don't know where they end and you begin. So, and you are kind of the holder of their identity for them. And so if you're not there with them, or if you're not agreeing with them, or if you're not doing what they need or want or demand that you do, then they're going to feel abandoned, and it becomes a really big blow up kind of deal. So a lot of people with codependency are very conflict avoidant, and you're going to end up with all this going on, and you're not going to have time for relationships with others. You're going to get isolated. They're not going to understand what's happening. You're going to feel embarrassed, quite understandably, that you don't really want people in your life to know what's happening because you're not sure what's happening. So it can be really shaming and embarrassing for people. These are other impacts, right? So that affect relationships with others. And it's a byproduct of a toxic relationship. And fear of the toxic person or the anxiety of the relationship itself simply causes you to withdraw and isolate from other people in your life. And the fifth impact, and certainly accruing impact of being in a toxic relationship, is engaging in toxic behavior yourself that you wouldn't otherwise engage in. Because often people that are the victims of toxic behavior and abuse, these relationships with a lot of people with untreated BPD, you unintentionally perpetuate not necessarily their behavior, but you get into it with them. You get reactionary. Maybe you just start out by asking questions, but that goes nowhere. You get into a jade conversation, you're worn down, you're exhausted, you're stressed, and it's just people can react in ways in which they never thought they would. Engaging in toxic behavior, getting into the power and control struggles, trying to get them to explain to you what the heck happened, what's going on, why don't they see what they did to you. Very impactful to people, often immediate impacts, but accruing negative impacts of toxic relationships for people with codependency, with people with BPD. Make no mistake about that. So if you're experiencing any of what I just said or more, again, you need to reach out for therapy. You need to think about very hard, because again, the trauma bond, very hard because again, the nature of the intermittent reinforcement and what codependency is and why you're there in the first place, which you may not yet consciously be aware of. So, but you need to get into your own healing and recovery journey, and maybe you need to do that before you're going to make a decision to leave the relationship or before you're going to get ghosted or discarded. But if you've already been through this, then you need to be taking stock of where you're at with these 5 impacts that really kind of come on quickly in a relationship, but that accrue and that people really have to heal after the BP relationship breakup.